What's up, y'all? It's been a little while, but hey, we're back, and we're back with some more true crime and things of that nature. Okay, this video is by Sinister End and is called "Wife Realizes Her Husband is a Wanted Killer." So, if you don't know, for you to get married, for the most responsible part is you have to wait a long time of knowing that person to actually decide you want to marry them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a big step. Imagine they like known each other for like years and she doesn't know, but she finds out after they're married. That's the entire video. I don't know what I'm talking about, but let's watch it and let's see what happens.
She literally attacked me from behind.
Get your snacks, lay back in your bed. I'm here to keep you safe, you know. I'm here, it's me, you know me.
Or from behind side. I was facing the lake. I have a
No. Oh, you have some on your stomach?
57.
911, what is the address of the emergency?
Someone came up and just shot my assistant manager.
Where is the shooter?
I don't have enough information. He's gone. He left in his car. He literally left a second ago.
Police in Carrollton, Texas rushed to the workplace of 24-year-old Alyssa Burkett after a co-worker called 911. He had heard gunshots outside the building. An unknown attacker had been waiting. The moment Alyssa arrived, he came at her with a gun and a knife. Within seconds, the only sounds in the air were her screams, begging for help. By the time officers got there, it was too late. Alyssa was already dead. Her body lay near the entrance, stabbed more than 40 times with no sign of mercy. What the officers didn't know yet was that this would become one of the most disturbing and complicated cases they had ever faced. In the days ahead, detectives would uncover a tangled mess, a list of possible suspects, bitter family conflicts, a custody battle over a child, dangerous levels of jealousy, and eventually, after years of twists, a court verdict that no one saw coming. All of it building into one of the most twisted homicides the town had ever seen.
Police Department search warrant. If you're in there, come out with your hands up.
I can't believe that my fiance would do something like that to a woman or to anybody.
I'm telling you, there's a side of him that you do not know.
Oh my gosh, bro, this is so scary. This is some shit out of... Oh, okay. You saw
Minutes
that.
later,
Read
several
that
patrol
warning.
units arrive at the scene.
Okay.
It's the parking lot of an apartment rental office on 1120 MacArthur Drive. Right by the entrance sits a gray Toyota Corolla. The driver's side window is shattered and bullet holes are clearly visible in the glass.
Oh no.
The crime scene is going to be inside that tape?
It's inside that tape.
All right. Okay. I heard that pop. I turned around, I knew it was a gunshot.
She got shot in the car. Okay. You can see her handprints.
A few steps away, a knife sheath lies on the sidewalk, and just beyond that, the bloody, wounded body of Alyssa Burkett. She had been shot in the face and stabbed repeatedly with deep, violent cuts all over her body. Officers move quickly to secure the scene while paramedics fight desperately to save Alyssa's life. But the blood loss and the sheer number of wounds make it impossible. At exactly 9:12 a.m., Alyssa's death is confirmed. A medical team sets up a tent right there in the parking lot to begin their examination of the body. At the same time, a crime scene investigator...
My God. Imagine it being so brutal that you literally have to set up shop at the crime scene, bro. This is absolutely complete. This is so vile, bro. This sucks so badly, bro. Rest in peace, bro. This sucks, dude. At 9:12 a.m. Oh my God. Imagine, bro. Is this woman married, bro? Is she a mom, bro? Oh my God. 9:12 in the morning, going to work. It's just an everyday thing, and then this happens to one of your coworkers, bro, in this town that, you know, that's gonna leave on a stain on your life, bro, and her family's life, bro. This is like mind blowing. This video was crazy, bro. It's like making my stomach turn and my eyes water.
Makes a chilling discovery: a tracking device hidden under the victim's car.
She got shot in the car. Okay. You can see her handprints.
Don't touch anything, okay?
That device would later be sent to digital forensics for analysis. But before the results came back, detectives would turn to the victim's co-workers, eyewitnesses who had seen pieces of the attack.
Oh my
and
God.
begin to reconstruct exactly
who is this killer, bro? Like, obviously we know from the name of the video, but this guy's off his rails, bro. He puts a tracking device. It had to have been like his side chick or something, like an affair he was having, you know, and then she was being little... I can't justify it, bro. This is so nasty, bro. This is unreal, bro. There's no reason for this to happen, dude. This dude's out of his fucking mind.
What happened that morning.
Did you see him holding the knife?
Yeah, in the hand.
Yes, I was thinking my... 9:12 a.m. Alyssa Burkett was shot. 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 9:12 a.m. Alyssa Burkett was
According to reports, Alyssa arrived at the parking lot at 8:52 a.m. She hadn't even gotten out of her car when a man stepped out of a black Ford SUV parked a few meters away. He calmly walked up and fired a bullet through the driver's side window. The sound of the gunshot echoed through the lot. Inside the building, Alyssa's coworkers jumped up from their desks in fear and rushed into nearby rooms to take cover. One of them was sitting right by the window at the moment of the attack.
We're just getting our day started.
Okay.
Another witness said the attacker was a black man.
Like I say, the black guy.
It seems that after firing the shot, the killer turned back toward his own car as if he was about to escape. But in that moment, Alyssa, miraculously still alive, managed to get out of her car with great difficulty. She staggered toward the building entrance, pounding on the window and calling for help. When the attacker saw she was still alive, he came back. This time, armed with a knife, he rushed at her and stabbed her 44 times in different parts of her body, killing her. Then he got into his car and fled the scene.
Yo, and I know some of you won't agree with this, bro, but the world is getting worse, bro, especially in Texas, bro, in areas like this, bro. Anybody could have a gun, bro. You need to be protected at all times, bro. I'm not lying, okay? It just takes one person's bad day for your life to be over or ruined, bro. Always stay protected, bro. Don't never be too careful, bro, okay? You're good. Oh wait, never be too careful. Always be too careful. That's what you gotta say. That's what I meant to say. This is crazy, bro. I can't believe it. He hops out the car because he's still alive, and then he stabs her 42 times. Like, he's out of his mind, bro. He's actually out of his mind.
Fortunately, there were no security cameras around the building, so we don't have any footage of the attack.
What kind of building is it? What's the job?
Let's step in as criminal profilers and examine the scene piece by piece to understand what happened.
Rest in peace, bro.
This murder wasn't random or accidental. The choice of location, timing, and method shows that the killer knew the victim beforehand. The motive wasn't financial or sexual. Everything points to extreme anger and a desire to control the victim. This suggests the killer had some kind of emotional, familial, or competitive relationship with Alyssa. The attacker was armed with two types of weapons: a firearm for the initial attack or to incapacitate, and a knife to finish the job. This shows the crime was premeditated. The GPS device found under the victim's car is one of the most important pieces of evidence, showing that Alyssa had been watched for a long time, not for theft, but for control. 44 stab wounds. That means the killer decided 43 times to strike again. What was going through his mind that he felt it wasn't enough and had to keep going?
Is this real?
Even though the victim had already been shot in the face.
Oh, recreated.
She even said, I think he's the kind of person that's gonna try to kill me. And he did. And he did.
Oh my gosh.
Alyssa Burkett was born on the last day of 1995 in a town near Dallas, Texas. After graduating high school, she went to college and studied history at a university in Southern California. When she was 22, she met a 33-year-old man from Northern California named Andrew Beard on Tinder. He was successful and wealthy, with a house that smelled of expensive wood and a private plane parked right outside. Their relationship started casually, some dates, some hangouts, nothing too serious, until one event changed Alyssa's life forever.
She got pregnant?
Near the end of her relationship with Andrew, she found out she was pregnant. On July 23, 2019, Willow was born. By then, Alyssa and Andrew had already separated, but they decided to share custody of their daughter. Alyssa was the primary guardian, while Andrew spent a day or two a week with Willow. During this time, she started dating another young man named Ben. On the surface, things seemed relatively calm, but behind the scenes, there were custody disputes with Andrew and financial struggles that had thrown Alyssa's life into chaos. Later, when Andrew got engaged to a woman named Holly Elkins, the custody battles slowly cooled down. After about a year, Alyssa and Andrew finally reached an agreement over custody and child support for Willow. What's interesting is that, against all expectations, Alyssa and Holly actually got along well.
Oh,
in one message, Holly told Alyssa, "Look forward to having a healthy relationship with you and Ben." Alyssa replied, "I hope your influence helps, because I'd love nothing more than for us all to have a healthy relationship." But just a few months later, something strange happened. On August 6th, Holly called the police claiming that Teresa, Alyssa's mother, had attacked her.
What?
2 officers were dispatched to the scene to investigate. Holly told them she was walking near the lake with Willow in her arms when suddenly Teresa came up from behind, grabbed the child, and started hitting and scratching her.
She literally attacked me from behind, or from behind.
So the woman who passed away, her mom was beating on this blonde woman here.
I was facing the lake.
Your hand?
I have
No. Oh, you have some on your stomach? Okay.
Teresa, during her interview with police, completely denied the incident, and since there wasn't enough evidence, the case was closed.
What?
On the surface, everything seemed to return to normal, until a few weeks later, when Carrollton police received a phone call from a man named Frank. He was reporting something suspicious.
I saw what I thought looked like someone just selling some drugs out of their trunk, and I could smell it and I could see it. And
Okay, what kind of vehicle is it?
it's a little Toyota Corolla. I have a license plate if that helps.
Okay, great. What was your last name?
Morrow.
Several officers were immediately sent to Alyssa's workplace. In the trunk of her car, they found a large amount of cash, packages of drugs, and a gun with its serial number removed. Alyssa was shocked. She insisted that none of it was hers and that someone must have planted it to frame her. Given her background, no criminal record, no history of drug use, and no ties to crime, the police decided not to pursue the matter any further. Now, when we put all the pieces of this puzzle together, from the exhausting custody battle to the untraceable gun and the drugs that had been planted far too professionally for a single mother, and then add Alyssa's mother's words on the day of the murder that her daughter had warned her many times, "He's going to kill me one day," a clear pattern begins to emerge, and that pattern points directly to one man, Andrew Beard.
I knew that it was him when the drugs didn't work in the car for him to get the baby.
After that staged drug case, Alyssa was never the same. She kept saying that Andrew was following her. She told her friends over and over that when she walked down the street, she could feel someone watching her from behind. Once, she turned and saw Andrew in his car. Another time, she spotted him while standing in line at a gas station. And once more, when she was leaving a store. Alyssa was so frightened that she often asked her friends to walk her to her front door, telling them to check behind and make sure no one was following. She begged them to lock the door right away. Around that time, she even started a GoFundMe campaign. In her post, she wrote, "At this point, I'm truly scared for my life and my daughter's life. Please help me with the legal costs for Willow's custody." That one sentence shows Alyssa wasn't just worried about a legal battle. She felt the shadow of a man who wanted to take her life.
Hi everyone, my name's Alyssa. Past year I have been going through a custody battle, a very ugly one. I have a 1-year-old child. It's taken a toll.
I know people are scared to call the police on something they're unsure about, but she seemed pretty damn sure, bro. I'm not gonna lie. What you need to do, what she should have did, and I know, you know, she passed away and all, but you gotta call the police and you gotta get a restraining order. Maybe it gets complicated though because they're having a custody battle, no? Maybe that's why it gets complicated. Well, you're in court already. You know, I don't know, bro. I mean, it's not every day you get put in one of these situations, so I get it how it would be difficult to, you know what I'm saying, know exactly what to do, I guess.
On my mental and physical health. With that being said, I've become a lot stronger in the process. And I guess just my message is, no matter what you're going through, stick it out, you can do it, and stay strong.
But even with all of this, there's still one question we don't have a clear answer for. If Andrew was the killer, then who was the black man that witnesses saw?
That's a good question.
Two possibilities are on the table. Either Andrew himself carried out the attack in disguise, using makeup or different clothing to hide his identity, or he hired someone else to do it. Maybe a friend, maybe a ruthless man desperate for money. Whatever the truth, finding this person would bring investigators one step closer to solving the mystery. With that, police obtained a warrant and headed to Andrew's home.
Carrollton Police Department, search warrant. If you're in there, come out.
He's not going to be there,
At
what?
the same time, a statewide alert went out for 2 vehicles, a white Ford F-150 registered to Andrew and a black SUV, the same one multiple witnesses reported seeing at the crime scene. A few hours later, Andrew's white truck was found. Police had pulled him over for a routine traffic violation. Officers ordered him out of the vehicle, and without any resistance, he was arrested on the spot. In the passenger seat was his fiancée, Holly Elkins, and in the back seat sat Willow, Alyssa's daughter, who by then had been placed in Andrew's full custody.
The daughter's in a car seat in the back seat. They've been pretty cooperative.
My part was to just find you. That's all they asked me to do.
Since the initial evidence against Andrew wasn't strong enough to hold him in jail, he was released just a few hours later.
Oh,
but
no.
what Andrew didn't know was that police had already decided to dig deeper into his life. The first step, a search warrant for his truck and his home. The first thing officers found in Andrew's house was an envelope covered in messy handwriting. Inside were notes with Alyssa's workplace address, the make and color of her car, and even her daily schedule. Among those notes was the name Frank Marrow, the same man who had called police a month earlier to report the drugs and gun in Alyssa's car.
Okay, great. What was your last name?
Morrow.
On the table, investigators also discovered a special charger and a portable battery.
For the
model and
tracking
serial
device?
number matched exactly with the GPS tracker
Oh
that had been hidden
my
under
God.
Alyssa's car.
So we found this GPS tracker box.
At the same time, the full report on Andrew's car came in. Inside a backpack on the back seat, police found a pair of men's hiking boots, soaked in bleach and cut into pieces. It was clear someone had been trying to erase his tracks. Next to the boots were 2 bottles of professional makeup in dark brown shades, something that could make light skin look much darker. That's when the first theory was confirmed. The killer had tried to disguise himself using makeup and clothing to appear like a black man. Investigators also uncovered paperwork for a black Ford Expedition SUV registered in Andrew's name. GPS data showed that just half an hour after the murder, around 9:30 a.m., the vehicle was parked near an apartment building only a few blocks from Andrew's own home. Inside the SUV, officers found bloodstains on the seat and floor. DNA testing later confirmed it belonged to Alyssa. And finally, the last piece of the puzzle. Right by the car door, police discovered a fake beard, the exact same kind Alyssa's co-worker had described the attacker wearing during the assault. With all this evidence, there was no doubt left. Andrew Beard was arrested once again, this time charged with first-degree murder,
this
and
guy's
taken to the Dallas
fucking
Police Department
crazy.
jail.
Beard's bond is set at $1 million. He is currently in the Dallas County Jail charged with murder, and police say
Throw
it's
away the
very
key,
clear
bro.
This killing was not random.
Throw
it was
away the
planned,
key. Throw
and it was
away the
personal.
key, man.
A few days later, Holly voluntarily went to the police to talk about the events that had happened. This is where the story enters a whole new phase. There was even a possibility that she herself could have been the next victim.
So I just told all my friends and family that I'm engaged to the most wonderful man on the planet.
Yeah.
And now people want me to believe that he's not that.
And there are so many emotional roadblocks for you to try to believe that. I get that.
I can't believe that my fiance would do something like that to a woman or to anybody, but a woman.
And she was lucky to still be alive.
I'm sorry, bro. How long were they together? A year, bro? You didn't ask about the... Is that a white monster? How could you not ask about the GPS tracker, bro? I'm sorry. Especially out blatantly on the table charging, because that's where they found it. Oh, my God, bro. This is crazy. You can't blame her, though.
But none of that seemed to matter. Holly kept insisting that Andrew had been at the house during the incident. She said the accusations were unbelievable and that the evidence couldn't convince her otherwise.
Telling you there's a side of him that you do not know. There are a few hours that you know he was not in that house.
You cannot tell me that I feel that way, sir.
I can tell you that because I know that for a fact that he was out of the house, Holly.
I don't know that for a fact. I am a total stage 5 clinger girlfriend.
Oh
I'm
my
always
fucking God, bro. Shut up, bro. Shut up. He's a murderer, bro. Just give it up. Let him go to jail. Over here talking about he was at the house the whole time. There's more evidence against him that he killed somebody than there's evidence when we walked on the fucking moon. Let him go.
ass. I find it hard to believe.
The interview ended without any concrete results, and Holly left the police station. 2 weeks into Andrew's detention, something unexpected happened.
A Rowlett man accused of shooting, then stabbing to death the mother of his child is free on bond this afternoon. And the victim's family believes he is a threat to public safety.
On October 21st, 2020, Andrew Beard's $1 million bond was paid. And despite all the evidence against him, he was released from jail.
No fucking way.
Alyssa's family was shocked when they heard the news, not just because Andrew was free, but because they felt they were now in danger. They worried he might try to hurt them, or worse,
yeah, because he's
take the
crazy.
Opportunity to escape and never show up in court. At this stage, the case moved to the federal level and the FBI got involved. 8 days later, Andrew was arrested again, this time for a different reason, possessing an illegal silencer. ATF agents.
How much more do you fucking need? He's walking around like a Splinter Cell, bro. How much more do you need from this man? How much more info?
Searched his home and found a silencer with no serial number or permit in his closet. Under federal law, possessing such a device is a serious crime. Andrew went back to jail and this time stayed for a full 18 months.
A Rowlett man accused of murdering the mother of his child has been arrested on a new charge.
People could not believe that Andrew Beard was out of jail after posting a $1 million bond. Now the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Texas has found a way.
He paid $8 million to stay out of jail for 8 days.
To charge him.
Should have just put it towards like at college or something. Something useful.
By law, the case should have moved to trial next, with the jury deciding the final verdict. But criminal cases don't always follow the rules, especially when a key player goes missing.
She'd already ordered her Uber and never came back.
After Andrew's arrest, Holly disappeared. Without saying a word or even saying goodbye to her fiancé, she returned to Michigan and cut off all contact. She rented a new apartment, bought a luxury car, and started a new relationship with another man. But the turning point came exactly when everyone thought the story was over. On June 15th, 2022, Andrew decided to speak, but not out of remorse or a guilty conscience. He had no choice. He wanted to cooperate and give information, hoping to get a reduction in his sentence.
If you were to ask me whose idea was what, drugs and the planning of drugs was Elkin's. It was made very clear to me that your previous methods aren't working. This is what you're going to do now in order to prove that that you're worthy.
Andrew claimed that Holly was not who she appeared to be.
Fucking
from the very beginning,
broad.
He said
There's no way.
Like Alyssa and wanted to be the only player on the stage of
There's
Alyssa
no
and Willow's
fucking
life.
way.
And to reach that position, she had to eliminate her rival. According to Andrew, all the schemes came from Holly's mind. Planting the drugs and gun, staging the attack by Alyssa's mother, and even hiring a private investigator to secretly gather information on Alyssa.
Oh
But
my God.
when all of that failed, she entered a new game. A game where she wasn't just controlling anymore, she became a direct threat.
Like, I was emotionally drained, and at that point I just basically said okay, and became submissive to whatever she wanted me to do. That's the task I did. It was you're going to dress up as a different person. Essentially, you're going to wear this dark makeup. That was her plan. That was how it's going to be done. It does look planned out because it was. The process was planned out.
It seemed that the murder plan was a test of Andrew's manhood, and he may have truly believed he had to succeed. Holly had planned everything for 2 weeks before the murder.
This stupid, nasty, cat in the hat looking broad, bro. There's no fucking way. How could you go through all this shit to be the only woman just to, after your man gets put in jail, for you to go start a new fucking life? No way, bro. You made that bad. You gotta lay there, you nasty, nasty witch. You nasty. Look at how nasty she is. I can't believe this.
Himself to make his face look darker, what time to be at the scene, what to wear, and where to escape afterward. She had even prepared a few messages to boost Andrew's confidence while carrying out the plan.
I'm not coming home to bullshit. I hope you handle it. It will be a whole different conversation if I feel like you ride or die. If not, then I don't know. I don't want anyone to know a pussy to... I don't want anyone who is a pussy to some low life or a push... What? I don't want anyone who is a pussy to some low life or a pushover.
Usually we look for the killer.
What does that
but sometimes we have to look for the person who created the killer. In this case, Holly didn't pull the trigger and the knife was never in her
So
hands.
nasty. This nasty,
But if she
gourd-headed
hadn't existed,
woman.
this crime probably never would have
Where's your
happened.
chin?
In mid-July 2023, Holly
Oh
was
my
arrested
God!
at the airport just after returning from her vacation
Oh my
in the Dominican
God!
Republic on charges of conspiracy to commit murder.
Oh my God!
At the
Never
trial
show
on
this
April
on my
10th,
screen again.
2024, the prosecutor opened with a striking line. Andrew Beard is a monster, but he's Holly Elkin's monster. Messages exchanged between the couple proved their relationship had always been toxic
This is
and
terrible.
controlling. Just 2 months after meeting, Holly had already sent Andrew
Your baby mama owns you. You continue to put your baby mama first. I don't want or need any bullshit from
a
anyone.
message. Your baby mama owns you. You continue to put B and
No, he wasn't. Okay, and the dude is still a dumbass. I would smack the shit out of both of them. He was putting his child first, his biological child. That's what he was putting first. This woman is crazy and this man is crazy. They both need to get locked up under the ocean.
them first. I don't want or need any bullshit
Nasty
from
ass
anyone.
people.
Police reports show that from that moment, Holly began investigating trackers, surveillance tools, and ways to control positions. By September
I knew she was
2020,
full of
everything
bullshit.
was part of her detailed plan. On September 13th, Holly and Andrew bought that black Ford together. The next day, Holly purchased the dark brown makeup for disguise. On September 19th, the pair went to a store and bought the same model of bullets and knife that would later be found at the crime scene. Why did she do all this? The prosecutor argued that it all stemmed from Holly's obsession with gaining control
I'm not
over
gonna
Willow.
say it, bro.
But if you look deeper, the child was more than just a custody battle. Willow was a symbol. To Holly, Willow wasn't just a child. She was a flag at the peak of a mountain she didn't want anyone else to climb.
What is that?
That was, I think, one of my favorite things that we did. It was always me and her, my best friend. Like, that was my person.
I want mama.
Dad discovers daughter-in-law is his son's killer. We're gonna have to watch that one next, bro. All right, man. First things first, rest in peace to Alyssa, bro. That sucks, bro. She did not deserve to go out that way. She doesn't deserve to go out at all, bro. You know what I'm saying? That really sucks, bro. That actually fucking sucks, bro. And I hope these people never get out. I hope they never get out. It doesn't matter who orchestrated what. At the end of the day, he did it, okay? I've been emotionally drained before by a woman that I've been talking to, and it never made me want to go and kill somebody, okay? Let's just get that out there. And I'm sure a lot of the people watching too have never been that low, if it even exists, if that low point, you know what I'm saying, even exists, and he's not just bullshitting. That they didn't want to just go hurt somebody, bro. This is true mental, like, he's fucking crazy. She's crazy, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Thank God they're locked up forever, you know? That's where they deserve to be, and I hope they never see that kid again. And yeah, man. That is just what it is. I appreciate you guys watching my video. You guys take care. You guys, you know, summer's coming up. Get in the gym, just like me. Get in the gym. You know, let's have fun. Let's get some exercise. It doesn't matter what you work out in the gym. Cardio. You want to build muscle. You just want to look good. You know, just do that. Eat good food. You know what I'm saying? Stay off the artificial sweeteners and flavors. All right, catch you.